Hello, WWE Universe. I'm Juvenile.
And I'm Delinquent.
And we are the PIC. And this is going to be us talking about the controversy surrounding the 2015 Royal Rumble. Before you watch this, you can go back and watch our review we just got through uploading of the 2015 Royal Rumble. But this is the stuff that we wanted, our personal opinions, our emotions, and pretty much all the controversy after the show ended.
Basically, when the Royal Rumble went off the air, all the way, it's probably still trending now, but I know at least up to the midnight, the top trending at first in the United States, then worldwide on Twitter was hashtag cancel WWE Network.
It was everywhere. I was throwing it a lot on my Twitter myself and stuff like that, and basically what ends up happening is the WWE shits on their fans at the Royal Rumble, and finally, being 2 years in a row at the Royal Rumble, finally the fans are fighting back and taking a stand on doing this. And I think Twitter, WWE is really invested in Twitter. I think this is the thing that we needed to do to push Vince into actually changing what's going on.
Basically, what has happened is, going into the Royal Rumble, everyone pretty much knew that Roman Reigns was going to win. It's like we all knew it. But you always wanted your one guy to win, of course. And we thought, maybe this would be Daniel Bryan's year. The controversy basically surrounding the Royal Rumble is the fact that not only how he was eliminated and how early, but why he was eliminated. Daniel Bryan was actually eliminated extremely early in the Royal Rumble, and therefore, once that happened, you knew that there was going to be a lot of problems. And of course, from the moment Daniel Bryan was eliminated all the way to the end of the Royal Rumble, the crowd was ballistic, booing. It left a bad taste in a lot of WWE fans' mouths, and all over Twitter, it was just constantly people posting pictures that they have unsubscribed to the WWE Network, and I think Vince is not going to like it when his wallet starts getting empty.
Yeah, and that's another tweet that I seen on there. It was like, they may not pay attention to what we're chanting. They may not be paying attention to what's trending, but they'll pay attention whenever we're not using our wallets anymore. And the main thing happening here, like you said, the fans really thought Daniel Bryan could win this year. Anybody. And then it wasn't necessarily that the fact that he didn't win. It was more along the lines of, like you said, the fashion that he didn't win. Daniel Bryan didn't even make it halfway through the Rumble. He gets eliminated by Bray Wyatt in just a normal elimination. He wasn't screwed out of it or nothing. It brings me back to the 2014 Royal Rumble, because when they found out Rey Mysterio was entry number 30 and it wasn't Daniel Bryan last year, throughout the rest of the match they chanted Daniel Bryan's name. Yep. The rest of the match was filled with a bad taste in your mouth and full of booze. And as soon as he was eliminated, it felt like that through almost the whole rest of the Rumble. People were disappointed, genuinely disappointed, and were aggravated from then on.
Yeah, and it was bad. It was like a slap to the face, because the diehard fans, you always want those top four superstars in the end game, and they completely failed on giving us that. The last guy, and I love Dean Ambrose, but I mean, you got to think of the last four people standing in the Royal Rumble. Well, actually, it wasn't. Technically, it would have been Big Show, Kane, Roman Reigns, and then actually the fourth person would have been Rusev.
Rusev, yeah.
But that was one big thing that caused problems. But I mean, there was reports that fans were blocking the talent from leaving the arena, the cars, and I mean, constant boos. I mean, Roman Reigns was booed out of the buildings. His fireworks were botched around the WrestleMania sign as he was pointing to it. I mean, it was huge, disgusted amount of people, and then they took action and went straight on WWE Network and unsubscribed. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, there are dozens of pictures of fans that have unsubscribed to the network, and judging by how trending it was to cancel the WWE Network, I would say there has to be a pretty good percentage of people who did actually cancel their subscription. And after doing that, Vince is going to get them numbers on his desk tomorrow before Raw or whenever it happens, and he's going to have to put a new plan into motion because of all the people disappointed. Roman Reigns is supposed to be the next big guy, but how can you be the next big guy whenever you have this horrible cloud hanging over your head now that you ruined the 2015 Royal Rumble leading into WrestleMania, unless they fix it like they ended up doing last year?
And like we mentioned, Roman, 2 years from now, he could be a great face in the WWE. I mean, maybe one day becoming the top guy, but to shove him down our throat is a little bit too much. And fans who have been watching as long like we have over a decade, we don't want somebody forced down our throat. Let me choose if he's going to be a top guy. Don't fucking tell me he's going to be one.
And I think that's one of the main things that the WWE has that's a problem, is that the WWE caters to the casual fan instead of the core fan base. The casual fan, or the children that are watching at home, are the ones that they're trying to make happy. And while the hardcore fans who are going for guys like Daniel and Dolph Ziggler and stuff, they always think that no matter what, that we are going to watch the show. And I mean, and I'm not going to lie, tomorrow I'm going to be watching Raw.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. The diehard fans won't give up and they will still watch. But a movement like tonight with all of this cancel the WWE Network trends, you have to think a good percentage of the hardcore fans were a part of that. And I mean, like me and you, hardcore fans, but we were still sharing that because maybe I'm not going to take that action, but I do want Vince to see that it trended because of the mistakes that he's making with the company.
I mean, even on the WWE app, on the side of it, the actual Twitter feed that's running the whole time on the app actually had tweets that were about canceling the WWE Network. And then it didn't even stay in Twitter. WWE even posted on there, what did you think about the Royal Rumble on Facebook? And the last time I looked, there was 15,000 people had thumbed downed it, and like 4,000 had thumbed up. I mean, it was just, honestly, we rated it on our last video that you can check out. We put it at a 2-star. I was going for a 1.5. He went from 2 to 2.5, so we stuck in the middle at a 2. It literally was not a good pay-per-view, and it really upset me about the Royal Rumble because it really did take away from Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and Seth Rollins. They pulled off an amazing match, and this controversy has really just... It's a match that I don't think people are going to remember.
And another thing is that now that I want to talk about is that where do we go from here? Because now that you have this horrible thing that's happened, and now all these fans are mad. I know last year they fixed it by throwing Daniel Bryan into the mix and, fixed it. But they just can't do that every year. Mess it up real big and then throw one guy in to fix the whole entire thing. And then again, they're not going to do the same thing as last year, make a triple threat with Daniel. They're going to have to mix it up some. So now it's up to Vince, Triple H, whoever's doing this stuff to really change it and fix everything. And if they keep making mistakes and then changing it up, to me, I'm shocked that they didn't. One of the things I told you that bothered me the most is that they didn't learn from their mistakes. Last year, we had a guy who all of us knew was probably going to win, which means you should switch it up on us. And that he was booed out of the building and continuously booed for months simply because of the fact that he won. And the same thing's happening to Roman. And Batista, being an established superstar, can handle something like that in the long run. Roman Reigns can't.
No.
Roman Reigns having something over him like this early into his career is going to hurt him in the long run if something's not fixed about it.
Yeah. And I mean, they have several little routes that they can take. One, of course, I see it now, though. I mean, it's going to happen. Roman and Brock are going to go at WrestleMania. I doubt they'll throw somebody else in there. They might. I was going to say John, but, I mean, of course, after it was going off, John and Rusev, so we're going to see John and Rusev at WrestleMania. Obviously, that's the route they're going to go with that, I guess, unless we see that at Fastlane. But, I mean, you're going to see Roman and Brock fighting at WrestleMania. I guess the only thing you could do, really and truly, to fix it is have Rollins cash in his Money in the Bank contract at WrestleMania and beat Roman. Otherwise, I mean, his career is going to die.
Yeah. The same bad taste we had in our mouth tonight is going to happen again. But the thing is, tonight there was roughly 12 to 14,000 people in that arena. When WrestleMania time comes and there's 75,000 people booing you, you may not be able to recover from that at all. And if Roman just beats Brock Lesnar clean, and this is the funny thing, Brock Lesnar ends the streak and dominates John Cena in the championship match, and they expect to make us believe that Roman can actually defeat this man.
Yeah.
That means Roman is like a fucking superhuman.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me, and it's gonna be bad if he wins. That's why, like you said, the only way to fix it is make Seth Rollins cash in as soon as it happens. Make him cash in, and because I can see Roman winning, Lesnar destroying him, and then like destroying him after the match out of anger, and then Seth Rollins cashing in and taking the victory.
Yeah, I mean, or give up this ultimate goal of putting Cena and Rusev at WrestleMania and make it a triple threat. Put Cena in there with Roman against Brock. I mean, I understand a lot of fans want to boo Cena sometimes, but I mean, if Cena's in that match and Roman picks up the win, at least you've got it as let Cena put the beat down on Brock enough to where it's like, wow, Roman didn't beat him himself, and then it makes more sense. But still, Roman's going to get booed out of WrestleMania. I can see it now. Nobody, right? A lot of things I've seen on Twitter, a lot of people were like, just the other night you are cheering for Roman, and here you are again, you're booing him because he won the Royal Rumble. No, if you look at it, he gets a mediocre reaction when he comes into the arena. It's pretty dull. I mean, yeah, he's got a couple young kids cheering for him. His ass got booed out of the arena tonight. One, because he won the Royal Rumble and it was shoved down our throat. But two, he's gotten such an extensive push after just returning a month or so ago. I mean, it's too fast. We don't need a guy who just come back, who has terrible mic skills, is nowhere near the quality of a superstar as John Cena, and you want him to take John Cena's place. It can't happen. I mean,
exactly.
I don't know where it's going.
And it's all mixed up right now, and it's all up in the air because, there's one thing, like I said, with last year they did fix. They have a lot of possibilities here. They could still fix this before it gets too bad. It just depends. And I think with the backlash that they got tonight, from the Facebook post to the multiple trends on Twitter, the big one, the WWE Network cancellations and all that kind of stuff. After all this happens, Vince and Triple H is going to have to sit down and rethink this whole process and repatch together everything leading into WrestleMania that's already set in stone. Because if they don't, Roman Reigns is going to take a hit that I don't think he can get out of.
Yeah.
Fans are always going to associate him with this situation. And, maybe years from now he would be ready.
Look at Batista.
Right now he's not.
Batista couldn't really pick back up from it, and he left.
Yeah, he ended up leaving. Roman Reigns was going to have a different approach than that because Roman Reigns has a long career left. He's just always going to be, like I did say though, if they could turn him heel. I've read things about Brock Lesnar playing a babyface role because you know how he was going against Rollins and they were mad at each other. He was playing the babyface role in that situation. If he were to somehow play that role, being the Beast or whatever, and Roman Reigns turns heel. But I'm hoping that WWE doesn't see him like they do Cena, where they're like, okay, well, we want him to stay face, that kind of stuff. Because if they do that, then there goes another possibility out the window. And Randy Orton, none of the surprise entrants show up. Randy, Sheamus, Jericho, Van Dam, Bo Dallas. I don't care, but I mean, no surprise entrants that were worth the crap, really. No surprise returns. I mean, Zack Ryder returns.
It was just...
The Royal Rumble was bad.
It was really bad. And like we said, this controversy surrounding it. We're going to watch Raw. We might get a video up, I don't know, tell you what we thought about Raw, but I think we will at least see some change tomorrow. Tonight, Monday. We will see some change. They're obviously going to do something. I mean, Vince, he says he listens to the fans. I guess we'll truly find out on Raw, because if they do nothing about it, then Vince, bald-faced slide straight to the Stone Cold's face.
Mm-hmm. I'm thoroughly intrigued and interested in what's going to happen tomorrow, and that's why I'm going to be tuning in. I can sit here all day and say, to cancel WWE Networks. I'm not canceling mine or anything like that, but nonetheless, I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do to fix this problem, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do, and I hope they do fix this problem for the sake of Roman Reigns in the future and for the sake of the loyal fan base that they're ruining right now by going routes like this.
And for the sake of the company, because if it continues to go this path, eventually people are going to get so tired of getting slapped in the face and getting such a garbage of entertainment. Eventually, you've got companies out there, just like while it was streaming live on the network, and then it went off, and then the conspiracy or the controversy started. Now is really a great time for TNA to capitalize. Mm-hmm. Why not? WWE's having problems. Their fans back out on them. If TNA had the quality, they could come up. We could see another war. But
right now, a lot of things that I've seen on Twitter was that a lot of guys that I've known from Twitter and stuff posting, if you want to watch real wrestling, go subscribe to New Japan Pro Wrestling right now, because I don't watch them, but apparently they're putting on way better shows than what we're seeing. And a lot of people saying they're going to keep the network because of NXT, and I know they're in part of the same company, but this is really the time that TNA, like you said, could capitalize and put on something really good and change the course. But TNA doesn't have what it takes either. They're doing the same dumb mistakes, and they ain't even in the shoes to where they can come back.
It's not the wrestling. It's the stories and the booking. Mm-hmm. It's who the wrestlers are going against when they're going against each other, and it's also the feuds and the stories that you're involving them with. WWE really needs to overhaul the creative team, and they've needed to overhaul the creative team 6-7 years now, but now they need to listen to the fans, and it needs to be done. It needs an overhaul. You get the stories right, you get the booking right, going on to bigger and broader things.
Either way, long story short, I know a lot of you people seen what happened on Twitter, and y'all know most of the things. We just wanted to share a little bit of our opinions about it. Did we cover everything?
Yeah.
I mean, cover as much as we can. We don't know what they're going to do to fix it. We just hope that they do. And we really want to hear your opinions on this situation. Let's have a discussion in the comments. Let's have a discussion on Twitter. I'm going to put the links in the description to our Twitter pages. Hit us up. Let us know what y'all think about this whole entire thing. I know a lot of people are unhappy. I know a lot of people on Twitter were saying that this whole cancel the WWE Network thing was a childish act to judge the company after one pay-per-view. But they don't understand that this has been happening. Yeah. This actually wraps up a full year, Rumble to Rumble, that the same type of stuff's been happening. And CM Punk, man, it was right.
I mean, it was right.
And WWE made him look like he was right tonight. They didn't prove nothing wrong. And I even posted on Twitter. I was like, you know what? You couldn't even be mad if guys were so frustrated like Ziggler and Bryan. I know they're not going to probably, but they could walk out of the company tomorrow and I could look at them and be like, I understand why you're leaving.
Yeah.
And
tomorrow, Raw, I mean, we're going to put this video up. You'll have all day to watch it before Raw, but watch Raw with us tomorrow. We're going to live tweet during Raw, and I mean, if you want to talk a little bit about what the controversy is and how things, and we'll watch and see if they're fixing it. If they're not fixing it, we'll continue to figure out what they can do. I mean, obviously, we can't change it unless the whole WWE universe backs it. But watch Raw with us, live tweet with us, and we will keep it going.
We'll say it right now. Let's do a video tomorrow for Raw.
All right.
After Raw, we'll give our opinions because, like, during times like this, a lot of discussion needs to happen, a lot of things like that. I'd like to hear y'all's opinions. So that's pretty much everything we can say about this situation. Y'all know most of it already. And just hit us back up. Sorry again for a long video. When we started going, it's just kind of like how it is. But either way, hit us up. Go watch the review we did for the 2015 Royal Rumble. And get ready for the Raw review we're going to do tomorrow. Or tonight.
Yeah, and hit us up on Twitter with any questions or whatever during the show about the controversy or anything. If it's too long of an answer, when we do the video after Raw, we'll answer your question there. We'll save the tweet and everything.
Peace out.